Good morning, sports fans. This is George with Custom Tied Flies and Guide Service. And this morning, boys and girls, we are going to build the last in Vince Wilcox's superhero series, Batman's Boy Wonder, or Robin. It's another take on a well, now I can't remember what it's called. So anyway, the ingredients are the hook is a Mustad 3906B, and we're tying this on a 12. Head is a gold brass or tungsten bead. It's this is a 3.5 millimeter. The underbody is lead or a lead substitute. We're going to use lead in 0.02. The thread, we're using 70 denier Danville Flymaster in black. The tail is rusty brown Goose biots. The abdomen is yellow, light bright. I'm using the Hends Spectra dubbing. The rib is copper wire. I'm using copper wire in a BR size. It's ultra wire. The wing is rusty brown Goose biots. The throat is the opposite side of the pheasant tail. This is what you tie pheasant tail nymphs with. And this is softer, is a different consistency. The collar is this color, light bright. And again, I'm using the Hens Spectra dubbing. So, without further ado, we're going to put the underbody on. I'm using 8 wraps of lead. I'm trimming it with a very old pair of scissors. Just push that up under the bead. Tie in behind the lead. Run the thread back to the top of the bend in the shank. Bring it forward, and you want to put a little stopper in there and start building a little ramp up to the lead. Take wide turns over top of the lead, and it gives your thread something to bite into without going down in between the turns. And then stop your thread about halfway up your lead. Now, on a goose biot, I'm going to pull out a fresh one here. On a goose biot, you get different lengths and thicknesses as you go up the feather. So for the back end, you're going to want to use stuff off of the bottom. See, that's the bottom part. And then for the wings, you're going to want to use stuff off about the middle or more towards the top, because they're a little thinner. So to get these off, you just bend the quill and push down on it expose 2 of them, pull them off. Then you fan them by pushing your thumb and index finger together and push. Then you take your bodkin and break that place where they connect to the quill. Now, with them both facing up, you have one that's on top of the other. Take the one from the back, flip it over, and put it on top of the one from the front. Prince Nymph, that's it. It's a take on the Prince Nymph. So that way, when you put them together, they look like that. Put it over top the bead to keep them split. Take a couple turns just to hold it down for a minute and check your length. See, that's not long enough. You want your tail filaments to stick out. A little less than a shank length. That ought to get it right there. Nope, too long. You want to be careful that they don't twist on you, because your thread pushing around the hook shank will torque them. If that happens, you can just kind of twist them back into place. So that way they look like that. Okay, next is your copper wire. I usually leave mine attached to the spool to cut down on waste. Just hold the spool in my hand. Make sure that's good and anchored in. And then I take my spool and I put it on the back of the rod of my bobbin hanger, bobbin cradle. Got a big tuft of Spectra dubbing. You just want to take little wisps, just like if you were dubbing rabbit fur. Remember, you can add more, but it's hard to take it off. Get you a rope going, 1.5 inches, 2 inches. Turn it on the hook. I use saliva instead of dubbing wax. I don't really like dubbing wax. And when I do use wax, it's beeswax that I get for about $1 a pound at the apiary. Couple half hitches. Pull your copper wire off your bobbin cradle, swing it around, and then you want to counter wrap the wire. So I tie away from myself. That's the way I was learned. So when you counter wrap, then you wrap towards yourself. You want to try to keep the rib at equal distance Sometimes it's a little tough to get over top the hump there. Then secure it. Trim that off with your very old pair of scissors. See, I didn't have any waste from the copper wire. And the wire gets expensive. So you're going to then grab your pheasant tail and just fan those fibers up and try to rake them out a little bit so they don't stick together. This happens a lot on a natural. By natural, I mean I shot this one myself. So when you have those that are raised for this, they're cleaner. You want to kind of even those fibers up. And your throat extends almost to the hook point. A little pinch wrap here. Trim that off. Roll your bug over. And now you're ready for your wings. This is top part of the biot quill. Same process. Roll that down. Now what's different here is instead of putting them back to back, you're going to just splay them out a little bit. Break that bond in the back so that the shiny side is up on both of them. Hold them down, pinch wrap. You got to spread them out a little bit. Sometimes they twist on you and you got to do it again. Oop. Another option is to put them on individually if they don't want to cooperate. Got to make sure you get the right side on the top. Always want the shiny side out. That's better. See? Then your collar. You don't need as long a rope on the collar as you do on the body because you're just covering up the tie-in points between the throat and the wings. Get a couple turns there. And then I use a wet whip with Solarez UV resin. You can also use head cement for this. Trim that off. Hit it with your light. And there you go, the robin. Sometimes your stuff wants to turn on you, so you just kind of pull it back into place. So, excuse me, this has been George with Custom Tied Flies and Guide Service. And you can find us on the web at www.custom-tied.com. That's CUSTOM-TIED.com. Have a splash, don't forget the dash. If you like this, this was informative for you, please like and subscribe to this YouTube channel. There's plenty of other stuff on here. Excuse me. And if you ever have any questions or issues or problems, if you you can find the Custom Tied Virtual Fly Shop at Custom Tyer 02. That's TYER. No dash in that. So, and then you can just PM me, and whatever questions or whatever you have, I can help you through. Again, this has been George with Custom Tied Flies and Guide Service. Have a great day. Happy tying.